Well, here we go, lemon drizzle cake. I'm going to start off showing you all the prep, so I've speeded that up, and then I'll show you the different stages of actually preparing the cake. So what you're looking at now is the table after I spent 15 minutes preparing. Here we go then. Right, clear the table, get a recipe, weighing scales, butter, put that in the microwave, weigh the caster sugar, get 4 eggs out, weigh the flour, lemons, grate 2 lemons, and juice 2 lemons, butter out the microwave, give it a stir, it's ready to go, get the bits and pieces you need, line the tin. Wow. Okay, so lemon drizzle cake, that was the preparation. Fast, wasn't I? So, go through the ingredients. We have got 250 grams of unsalted butter that's been softened in the microwave. We've got 225 grams caster sugar. We've got 4 eggs. We break them individually later, we don't break them all at once. 225 grams self-raising flour. Finely grated zest of 1 lemon, but I use 2. I like lemon. Then we've got, over the back, we've got the juice of a couple of lemons and 85 grams of caster sugar. That's to make the drizzle. Do that while it's in the oven. So, method, turn the oven on, fan 160, otherwise 180, gas mark 4. That's done. Beat together 225 grams of softened unsalted butter, 225 grams of caster sugar, until pale and creamy. Well, there's the butter, there's the sugar. Almost get away without washing that. You can use a mixer. In fact, it's probably a good idea to use a mixer, but hey ho. So I'm going to mix this together. Until it's pale and creamy. I could have softened this a bit more, to be honest. In fact, probably, because I didn't soften it enough, this will be a lot easier with a spoon. So, good mix. I'll come back when this is mixed. Okay, so butter's kind of mixed, pale and creamy. It's working now nicely with a whisk. Could use a machine. Hey ho. Anyhow, the recipe now tells us to add the eggs one at a time. Don't add them all at once. Makes a mess of it. One at a time. And then we'll mix them in one at a time. It kind of splits if you try and put them all in at once. Probably doesn't do it any harm. It doesn't look nice. There's 1, 2. So we're going to add 4. And I'm mixing each one till it looks amalgamated. Looking good. That's number 3. So, looks amalgamated to me. Number 4. L'œuf numéro 4. That's French. Egg number 4. So the recipe says, one at a time, put your eggs, and then it says to sift in your flour. Now, the whisk really no good at this point. Once the flour's in, it gets a bit thick and kludgy. We don't want that. So we get the spoon back. That there. And we are whisking in the 225 grams of self-raising flour. I think in the olden days, flour used to develop lumps, I think. Doesn't really happen so much these days, does it? Anyway, give it a bit of a stir. Let's just go for it, Bry. Can we get away with having to wash the sieve? Possible. Well, there's a couple of lumps in there, I'm surprised. Anyway, let's get rid of them. So we mix this. It's a very easy cake to make, this, actually. No baking powders, no complicated formulas. Anyway, let's give it a stir. Right, now we've got to add the lemon zest. The more the better in my opinion, but not everybody likes it. Right, that's that. That needs mixing in. Good mix. Now, that's looking good. A bit of tidying up as we go along. Tidy. Now, pull this out of the way a little bit, clean up. I like to keep tidy while we go in. Now, that was a famous Mr. Floyd. I can never remember his first name. Keith Floyd, that was it. If I was him, I'd be having a slurp right now, but I'm me, so it's coffee. Hey ho. By the way, if you give this one away, Jackie, I'll shout at you. Anyway, here we go. Mixed, very nicely mixed. Now, line a loaf tin with greaseproof paper, we've done that, obviously. Spoon the mixture in and flatten the top. So, spoon the mixture in is tricky. We'll use this, I think. It's coming nicely. Yeah, that'll do. So we try and get it kind of equally spaced in there. Try not to knock the paper out of the way. Yeah. Bring that down. Every little bit we want out of there. That's pretty much every little bit. There we go. So now I'm just going to kind of smooth it out. I'm just really pushing it to cover the bottom of the tray. I do really want the voids, but you know, it's a cake, doesn't really matter. So into each corner, touching each side, and flatten the top down. There we go, that's looking pretty good. And then, my mum used to do this with cakes. She didn't do this bit where you put it back in there, she just licked it off her fingers. Anyway. So. Ooh! Yum yum. So, we've got to put it in the oven, I suppose, now. Well, there you go, we've tidied the table up. That's my ciabatta sitting there. Been in the freezer for a week and a half, but it's good to go now. We'll have that later. Right, we're going to swivel around and refocus on the old next stage, which I think you can see there. Have a look, bit of adjusting. Yeah. So the oven's on. It's on 160. I'm a fan oven, and it's heated up. It's ready to go. So let's go. Right. So first things, that's what that looks like. It's about halfway up the tin, but it will rise, so that's going in the oven. We'll pop the timer on for about 50 minutes. 50 minutes, thereabouts. So what we've got to do while that's cooking is make the drizzle. And I have to say it's the drizzle that makes the cake. This is just a plain sponge otherwise. It's the drizzle that does the job. So let's get that going there. Yeah. That should do us. So all we do, we've got our, the recipe says 1.5 lemons, 85 grams of castor, but what I use is 2 lemons and 85 grams of castor. Don't have to wash that either. Bonus. So because the lemon juice is cold, obviously it's not going to kind of dissolve unless you keep coming back for the next 50 minutes or so and stir it. So the cake will be ready in 50 minutes. You don't put the drizzle on when it's boiling hot, you let it cool. Not a lot, but enough. You want to put the drizzle on when the cake is still warm. Right, so we've got 50 minutes to go. We'll give you a quick tour of my kitchen, I suppose, if I can do that without dropping everything. So what we got, zoom out properly. So that's the cooker, and that's the cake, sitting there waiting to go. And we've got my super duper hob that's bigger than wider than a worktop, so the wife made me take it away, she didn't like it. Stainless steel back up there, nice hood. Now we've got my lovely IKEA pan racks, 2 of those end to end. Lovely that. And then all my knives and doodly bits and this, that and the other. Got my little oak chopping board there with a drawer for the sharpies. Sinky, boiler. My brother wanted to hide the boiler in a cupboard, but hey, it's not that bad looking. That is absolutely the three most wonderful kids in the world. I don't know who they are, found that picture somewhere. Anyway, bit of radio, my Shelby stuff, dead parsley, bin, thing hanging down the door to keep the flies out. What time is it? 25 to 10. That's my brewing cupboard. That's another worktop. That's another brewing cupboard. That's the cupboard up at the end to hide junk. The junk on the floor is the stuff that came off my last boat that I haven't got anywhere to put. I made that cupboard. Not very pretty, but I also made that one. 3 drawers at the bottom, 4 drawers at the bottom, gap in the middle, big cupboard at the top, right up to the ceiling, deliberately. A few more shelvies, silly cupboard with lots of openings I made years ago, microwave, toaster, kettle, coffee, oh, some beers there. Medicine cabinet, Sarah, waiting for a picture to be painted on its front door. Have you done it yet, Sarah? Anyway, more stuff. Fridge, thing for drying wine bottles, hole in ceiling. Come on, Jerry, you've got to come and sort my roof out. Back to where we started. Anyway, we'll come back in 50 minutes or so. About every 5 or 10 minutes I'll just come and stir that drizzle because I want it sort of dissolved. Note to you all as well, I put the lemon pith. When you squeeze it, obviously you get all this pith. I put that in there as well. I like it. It's nice. Okay, so we've had 50 minutes. We're going to use a skewer just to make sure it's actually cooked. Usually if it's split at the top like that, it's usually cooked, but we'll test anyway. It comes out clean. And it's very hot. So, that is indeed cooked. Moving off, reposition the old camera. Basically now what we're going to do is we're going to leave that. See, right now it's boiling hot. So we'll leave that for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, probably. I've been stirring this drizzle constantly. Well, not constantly. About every 5 minutes or so. It's quite dissolved now, but we keep going. Anyway, we'll come back and sort out that when it's cooled down a bit. So say about 10 minutes. 10 minutes should be plenty. Yeah. Anyway, 10 minutes. Okay. So it's been cooling. Sunk a little bit. Anyway, I like to use, to make the holes, my old thermometer here. Doesn't hurt to give it a wipe before you start. Don't know what it was in last. Probably a chicken. Only kidding. Right, something to make holes with. So, not quite all the way to the bottom, otherwise the lemon juice will all just drizzle through to the bottom. So nearly at the bottom, but not quite. We'll work it out. Most of the juice is going to run down between the cake and the paper at the sides. What you're doing is just making some holes so that you capture some of it actually in the middle of the cake. That being said, if somebody gives you a side piece or an end piece that's got more lemon juice in, so go for that. Okay, so we go all around. Won't put any holes where that crack is in the top. So We've got a big enough crater there, to be honest. It's looking good, Charlie Brown. By the way, Steve, I've decided Jackie's not getting this one. Should just give it away. I'm having this one. I like the look of this one. Right. So that's plenty of holes. Give that a little wipe. That's plenty of holes. So now do the drizzle bit of the lemon drizzle cake, and this is all nicely absorbed now. The sugar's all dissolved. So, what are we waiting for? This is more than the recipe calls for. I think the recipe calls for 1.5 lemons. This is 2 quite large lemons. But I agree with the recipe sugar. I don't overdo the sugar. There we go. That is the lemon drizzle cake video complete. And this is the second go because I got the first go wrong. I'm very pleased with that. Let's just have a little look at it. Yes, very, very pleased with that. That's a lovely looking lemon drizzle cake. And this time the battery didn't go out on the camera or the microphone. Incredible. Well, keep watching. This is my channel. One of these days I'll make money off YouTube. Anyway, bye for now. So Francesca, Sarah, Sammy, Sandra, get your orders in next time you visit. I'll make 2 cakes. I'll make 3 or 4 or 5 cakes. Can't wait to see you all. Bye.